we were given the chance to record the One Show backstage at the rehearsals with the Rolling Stones, well, how could we turn that down?
Exactly. Now, Charlie is practicing his drums behind that wall.
Yep.
Mick and Ronnie are downstairs chilling out. And sitting opposite us is Mr. Keith Richards.
Oh, my goodness me! Only Keith Richards!
Thank you.
How are you, Sir Keith?
Very well, actually, yeah.
Have you ever had the letter about the knighthood?
No, they've not mentioned it lately.
Would you say yes?
I wouldn't contemplate it, no.
No?
No.
All right. Plain and simple, to start off with, what's it been like being in the Rolling Stones? 50 years, come on.
It feels like 100, actually. No, all joking aside, it's quite amazing. You don't think about these years, you know. I mean, I think the beginning of this year, he was starting to get some fans, you know. Well, what are you going to do? So finally had a meeting and said, what are we going to do, man? You know, we have to do something. And then it built up from people out there that actually made this all happen.
And when you say, you know, we hear a lot about these meetings. It's around somebody's house, is it on a plane? How do these meetings happen?
We meet in meeting rooms. And it's also ludicrously formal, you know. And there's a table with a pen, pad, and a couple of lawyers, and then it usually degenerates into like a farce.
And you say yes.
Yeah, and then we sign off, and that's that, you know.
But it's amazing, really, Keith, that you can remember any of this. Didn't you top a poll as the next celebrity most likely to die?
I was there. I think I was at the top of the charts longer than most people on that particular category, yeah. But I've dropped off the perch a long time ago.
Well, you're looking all right
because I
now.
didn't die, you know. No, there's times when I wake up in the morning and I don't believe I've woken up, no, let alone anything else, you know.
But what was that period like then?
It's kind of hazy. You know, I mean, I've got a good memory, but there is that spot. There's a bit hazy. But in actual fact, I functioned perfectly well. And I was being harassed first with my own demons and then the cops. And, you know, so it was kind of turmoil, really. But I got used to it, you know.
Did having the Beatles there at the same time, did it make you the band you are?
There was no competition between the bands per se, you know, but in the greater world, the Beatles were the Fab Four, you know. As I say, that's wearing the white hat. And so the only other place to go is to wear the black hat, you know. And at the same time, we were pretty natural. And I think really all we did is we didn't showbiz ourselves up.
A pivotal point in the Stone story is when you all scampered off to France together. And here's what you had to say about it.
I think in France I felt a sort of lifting of the weights, which I didn't realise was on me in England. 9, 10 at night until 7 or 8 in the morning. You know. The idea of playing a note before the sun went down was ludicrous. And, I mean, it's like Dracula time.
Well, we were actually basically forced economically out of the country because I think they'd given up on trying to put us in jail, and it just wasn't working, you know, and they scratched their heads, and they just didn't like us, I guess. Their idea was to split us up, which they did, but they, at the same time, kept us together, you know. We just learned how to work on a global scale, I guess, you know.
Now, Rolling Stones are obviously big business, big money. If you had to send a member of the band out to bat for you, negotiating-wise, who would you send out?
I'd say definitely Mick, but definitely with Charlie in reserve.
The quiet assassin. Okay, let's talk about Ronnie Wood, of course, your other arm, if you like.
Yeah.
Do you agree that had Ronnie not joined the band when he did, the Rolling Stones would never have got to be the supergroup they were in the 80s?
Well, definitely without Ronnie Wood, we wouldn't have had the cohesion and to stick together, you know. It was, he came along just at the right time, and you know, with a guy like that around, you got to hang around because he's so damn funny, you know.
He's a lovely man, isn't he?
Yeah, he's cool, man. There's a great feeling in the band right now, and kind of weird, and you keep waiting for the bubble to burst. You know.
All right, Keith Richards, everyone, there you go. 3 more to come.
Okay, we asked you for your stories about you and the Stones, and here's what you said.
My story's about Mick. I'm #1 fan of the Stones and Mick.
Charlie.
Yes.
We heard about those tickets being given away for a gig that was here when it was called the Empire Pool.
Yeah.
Now, you've hired out Wembley Arena just to rehearse in.
Yeah.
That's a nice thing to be able to do.
Yes, it's very extravagant. In fact, we had this place this was our catering when we played at the stadium.
No way.
So we've actually gone down in scale.
The whole thing?
Yeah. When I was a young, boy, I used to come here ice skating, and I didn't actually ice skate. I used to watch all the others going there, and ice hockey. So I know this part of the world since I was 5.
Wow.
Well, we have a little picture here when you were quite young. Have you seen this picture before, Charlie?
No.
Okay.
I drew that on the front there.
Did you?
Yeah, that was supposed to be Buddy Rich. That's the first drum kit my dad bought me.
How
We're in
old
a
are you in
pub.
that picture?
12.
Okay, that was taken by a Nick Rayner, who also
Yes.
played in your first public appearance.
How did he get a camera? I know, I remember Nick Rayner. Yeah, he lived for 4 doors away from me.
When they're putting live dates back together, like you are now, is the call to you always the trepidatious one? Would you ever think about it, say, I'm not quite sure? Or?
We're only doing 5 shows up to Christmas. But to do those 5 shows, you have to rehearse as much as you do if you're doing 150 to get to the same. You know, if you don't play a lot, which we don't, your hands, you have to get used to playing and that.
But this seems like quite a lot of effort for 5 shows.
It is
Charlie.
quite a lot of effort.
So-
It's bloody hard work, actually. The rehearsals always are harder.
Are there plans then past these 5 shows?
Oh, well, my thing is if we're standing at Christmas, then we'll see, But this is, it's the 50 thing, and I always said to Mick that, we're known for playing, so we should play something. And it's got into 5 now, so, and at the end, by Christmas, who knows what we decide.
What do you go off and do, though, when you're not
Nothing.
on tour? Nothing.
But I never do anything. So I don't know. My wife always said, you don't do anything. And I don't actually. So when I say I'm leaving, he says, what are you going to do? And you sort of sit there and think, what am I going to do? So it's kind of, you're caught, really.
Do you think you were miscast in the Rolling Stones? Do you think you should
Well,
have
I
been...
should have been the singer.
No, you
If you heard me sing.
do you think you should have been in another band altogether?
No, but Chris, I've never really, I've never fallen into celebrity rock star thing. I've always looked at other people who aren't in that world with much more awe than rock and roll style.
Now, where we'd like to start with you, Ronnie, if that's okay, is you getting offered a job in the Rolling Stones. Maybe the best job offer a guitarist could wish for?
Yeah, it's a great job offer, actually. Not bad, it's all right. I feathered my nest. Jeff Beck said to me yesterday, I'm in the Rolling Stones for a number. And I said, so am I. and Bill Wyman said, so am I.
Now, did you realise at the time how much the Rolling Stones needed you, not just as a guitarist, but also to be this galvanising figure that actually... You may have saved the Rolling Stones.
Yeah, I think without doubt. I have, on a few occasions, let me know. Well, it was a fragile ship when I joined, because they'd been through many ups and downs, and there was a kind of a grey cloud.
Wow.
But at the beginning, you were a salaried...
Yes, Alex.
Hello. At the beginning, you were a salaried employee. So how long did it take then before you felt like a fully fledged member of the Rolling Stones?
Well, after an apprenticeship of 17 years, which I might add to all you struggling musicians out there, it just went by like that. Although it wasn't a labelled apprenticeship, I felt out of respect that I would seep in by osmosis into the Stones world.
It's weird that you you refer to them as them, not we.
Yeah, well, I still look at it from afar, as it's a bit like, it's very surreal for me to be in this unit that used to run home from school to watch on the telly, go, I'm going to be in that band, to actually be in the band.
Is it true that you were at a party and Mick Taylor literally... Mick Jagger was in the middle, Mick Taylor's here.
Jagger was here and
Yep.
Taylor was here, and Taylor leaned across and he said, I'm leaving the group. And I went like this, and Jagger said to me, what did he say? And I said, I think he said he's leaving the group. And he said, I really am. And he got up and walked out, and Mick said, what am I going to do? You know, have patience.
How soon after that moment were you in the studio with the Stones?
A year.
How did you feel doing your first gig with them?
Even though I knew the music, I'd never actually played the songs. So at Montauk, Keith and I hardly slept, and we kept going through the songs, and like, he was hitting me, okay, all down the line, here we go, and all these songs going through my head. And on June the 1st in Baton Rouge, in 1975, that was my opening gig, yeah. That was really, I said, come on, throw it at me, whatever you've got. And they did, and I went, what was that chord?
Here we go.
And in the deep end, it was great.
Okay, you got Greatest Hits album out, celebrate the 50th anniversary. You've got a couple of new songs on that album, and you've also made a couple of new videos.